Hello, everyone out there. My name is Jake Reeder, and this is Paul Hine. We are the creators of the Databyss app, databyss.org, and also the founders of the Databyss Foundation. And we wanted to show you guys how to use Databyss. And we thought that the best way to show you all the unique things that Databyss allows you to do and the way that you can interact with Databyss is to give kind of like an example of a kind of research project that someone could do. So what we are imagining here is that Paul and I are going to be doing a research project on cybernetics. You know, I'm not here to teach you guys what cybernetics is, but just to briefly say, it's the study of self-regulating machines, which include humans on a certain level as well. Yeah, Paul, do you want to say anything before we get into this?
I'll just introduce myself briefly. I'm Paul Hine. I was the technical lead on Databyss, so I go by Claris Obscurus in the Discord. If you're interested in using Databyss and really getting to know it and becoming an expert in it, I recommend joining our Discord channel. The link will be along in the video notes. And yeah, reach out to me with technical questions. And
Great.
Jake can handle all the other questions.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I'm
we
Databyss.
Share all the questions. Yeah.
I'm Databyss R2C in Discord, and just so everyone knows, I'm a philosophy professor, and you know, I definitely did not write a single piece of code for this program, for this application, for this machine, but I did somewhat come up with the idea, initially working with Jacques Derrida, trying to take really good notes on Jacques Derrida. I created this kind of concordance style index of all his themes throughout various texts that he wrote. And that is a website that you can search, returntocinder.com. And then Paul, who had worked with me at returntocinder.com, said, you know, we could make this application that would allow everyone to create and publish things like returntocinder.com. And so that was the vision of databyss.org, a vision in many ways that we accomplished, but are also still expanding and working on as well. Yeah, let's take some notes on cybernetics. If you open up Databyss and you just signed up, you see a blank page, untitled. You know, we start very ambitiously with a page called cybernetics. Okay, there are many things that you can do in this Databyss interface. Is that the right word, Paul?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Environment.
In this Databyss environment. Just so everyone knows, it works like a word processor. So you could just start typing anything that you want. You know, you could say, I am interested in Norbert Wiener. Okay. Get your, you know, juices going. And then let's say that you actually do know, or you have read a book about cybernetics by Norbert Wiener, and I'll show you this book right here, okay? And so you want to attach the notes that you've taken to this book, meaning if you searched for this book in your Databyss, you would find all the notes that you took underneath this book in the index related to this book. So let me show you how that would work, okay? I would first press the @ sign here, or I would just go here and press source, okay? And there are basically two things that you can do at this point. You can search through the various catalogs that we offer to find the bibliographical data for this book, or you can simply type in the title that you want for this book and just press enter. So let me just show you that one first. So you could just say human use of human beings, okay? And you just press enter, okay? Now, the other thing that you could do, let's delete this, is you could search for this book in the 3 catalogs that we provide to you: Open Library, Crossref, or Google Books. Just a rule of thumb here: Open Library and Google Books are very good for searching for books, and Crossref is very good for searching for articles. So let's just try Google Books, human use of human beings. Okay, and you can look at your book. Oh, it is Da Capo, I see. So here's Da Capo Press. So I found the one that I am working with. Okay, now you can just press enter and start typing, and the idea is that anything you type underneath this source here will be linked to this source. Okay, I'm going to say right here on page 28, we take in information through our sense organs and we act on information received. Okay. Now, we offered a way for you to emphasize a location. So I could put the 28 there, and then I could press location, and it turns it to a light gray, which we believed allows you to know the reference point, but also to not get it confused with the actual node itself. Now, this here, we take it in information, will be linked to this source. So let me just show you something you can do right away. You can click on this source. Okay, we click on this source, and you'll see a number of things in what is the source index page. First of all, we see our note right there. Okay, we also see up here a bibliographical citation, and now you can actually work with that citation by clicking this View Edit Citation. And as you'll see, there's a lot of information here. The reason that we searched through the catalog is the catalog helped fill in these details here. If you would have just pressed return, you would, and I can show you guys that in a second, you would have had to fill in all these details. So, you can literally go through, the front of your book, make sure that everything is correct. If there's a translator, for example, you can add a translator. This was written originally in English, but just to show you guys what would happen to your citation down here if you added a translator. Let's say best translator. Okay. And as you will see, automatically it is translated by Translator Best right here. And you can also, as you see, change your styles. You can change it to Chicago, and that changes it. I think you saw a little flashback there. It changed it also behind us right there. Okay. Now,
yeah, it saves your preference. So wherever you see citations, it will use whatever citation format you choose there.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Now, one thing that I wanted to show you guys is that you can change the way that it looks on your page. This doesn't change the citation data or anything like that. But let's just say you're like, okay, well, I don't really need to capo press, and I don't need the subtitle.
Right.
So Wiener and the human use of human beings. Okay, and I'll show you guys in a second what short name does. So I press done. Voila. I see here that the colon is still there. I don't want that colon.
And you can also change it right in the title, as if you're changing the title of a page, right? So let's say you just wanted it to be Wiener, the human use of human beings, like remove.
Okay, right. So get rid of the N. Okay.
Right.
And and as you see, it updated right there. Right. Now this also means if I jump to the page where you can't type on this index page here, but if I click on this right here, as you see, it has been changed. If I want to go back, quickly go back, etc. Very quick. Okay. Now the idea is, just so everyone understands, in terms of like the way the notes are attached to the source, is that if I press one return, this will remain within this note itself. We call these entries. Okay. But if I do a double return, 1, 2, and you know that you've accomplished it because you'll see this menu bar come up. And so I can take another note. Okay, let's see here. The commands through which we exercise our control over our environment are a kind of information. Okay, very interesting. And this is on page 17. Okay, so I go like that. And then I think, oh, you know what? I probably want to switch these around. So I will cut it, do a little return, and voila. Okay, now let's go see how this looks. If we go to our index page, and as you see, there are two different notes here. Okay, now, since we are only looking right now through this source, we might think, oh, what is the point of having these be, separated in this way? The reason for them to be separated is we might tag them with other topics that each one of these notes doesn't have. And so then we can find these notes through other searches. So let's just say, for example, that I'm interested in the idea of control, okay? And I want this to be a topic. Just so everyone knows, and you can see that here in the menu again, the function for the command for Paul, what's the right term?
Yeah.
The command to create a topic is hashtag. Now you can create topics like in an overarching way. Let me just show you that first.
As a heading.
So
right,
just kind of how the source is a heading right there. Let's just say we're talking about cybernetics. So we put all this under cybernetics. That means just like all of these notes will be linked to the source, the human use of human beings, they will also be linked to the header cybernetics. And you know this if you look up here in your sticky headers, it shows you where each note is. And I'll show you how that can change as well. What I was saying is the point of having the notes or each entry separated. Let's say that I'm also interested in control. Okay, so I want to hashtag control and I press return. Okay, now I've just created a new topic here, control. The idea is that we will find both of these notes if we go to cybernetics. Let's just do that. Okay, but if we go to control, we will just find this one note. And
if you can you go back to the hashtag control for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So in the topic control for that entry, we also see at the bottom some metadata about where it is in the page. So it's also under the topic cybernetics. We see that right at the bottom.
Right here.
Hashtag cybernetics.
Yeah.
And it's under the source Wiener 1988. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And maybe we should talk about short names now. Or you get into that when you talk about inline sources too.
The short name, we would have to create a different source to show its effectiveness. But I will do that, in a sec. Okay. All right. Now, let's say, just hypothetically, this doesn't fully make sense because it does seem like everything in this book here will be about cybernetics. But let's say that we took some notes and then we say, you know what? The next note I'm taking doesn't have to do with cybernetics anymore. So I want to end this header right here. I want to continue writing within the source, the human use of human beings, but I want to end cybernetics. So if you click the plus menu, you'll see that you can end topic by doing a / hashtag. You can also type it, and I just click it right there. Cybernetics has just ended. So now if I take another note, okay, let's just make up a note, 56, entropy and information. Okay. Now the idea is that entropy and information will show up in the human use of human beings. It will not show up under the topic cybernetics. So let me just show you guys that. If we click on the human use of human beings, we see here entropy and information. If we click on cybernetics, we do not see it. Okay. And so we can now, for example, start cybernetics again. We can start another header. Just to be clear about the way these headers work, there's only one of them at a time. So there's only one source at a time, and there's only one header topic at a time. However, within each entry, you can add however many hashes of topics or however many ats of sources. And so that will lead me to the short name that Paul is saying. Let's say that we're reading another book, okay? And this is a really great book about media theory and also the history of cybernetics by Wendy Chun, called Program Visions, okay? And one of the interesting things that you can do, or one of the exciting things you can do in Databyss is rather than even searching the title, you can actually just write down the ISBN number and click one of those catalogs. So I'm going to go 9780262518512, and I will click Google Books. And let's see right there, Program Vision, Software and Memory. It's exactly the book that I want. Okay, now let's say that on page, I'm making this up, but Wendy Chun definitely talks about Norbert Wiener and cybernetics in this book. But let's say on page 71, she refers to information, and she refers specifically to the book Human Use of Human Beings. So now I would want to note that Norbert Wiener shows up in relation to this note. And so I would start typing human use of human beings, and look there, I found it. And as you will see, it magically turned the human use of human beings into the short name Wiener 1988. Okay, that is because, and we can click here. That is because we have in this citation, this short name right here. And we chose for the short name like a kind of typical style. I think it's the Harvard style, where you have the name of the author and then the date. But let's just say that you prefer like initials that would show you what the title of the book was. Maybe that's something that you want. So Wiener, HUHB. And so we would go done like that. And as you see, now we go back here, and there you go, Wiener HUHB. So this now, as you see, when you click here, you also see that note, even though it comes from a different book. And just to show you what's going on with Wendy Chun here, we have her citation as well. It's Chicago. We saved it as Chicago. Yeah, so we begin to create an enormous database in that way. One thing just to note that happened is that when you put a new header source like this, you immediately stop the source that was above it. You can prematurely end the source above by doing like, let's just say, for example, this entropy and information. This doesn't really make sense because it is from Norbert Wiener, but let's just say you found it from somewhere else, or you just wanted to put a note. You could also just go /@ and end Norbert Wiener. That means, as you'll see, that entropy and information is sourceless and topicless. So it actually won't show up in any index, except it will show up in a general search. For example, if I were to search information, I will find my way to entropy and information. And as you see, all of these other notes or entries show that they're in hashtag cybernetics, they're in hashtag Wiener HUHB, but this one has no metadata because it's not linked to anything, but it does show up in your search. Okay, so that's the beginning really of what you can do. And one of the everything here is on a single page. As you see, just so you know, the information when you type in there, it also will find information on the page that you're looking at as well, aside from just the search. But where Databyss really becomes powerful is when you start opening up new pages and being able to search between all those pages. I mean, and that's my belief. So let's open up a new page. And let's say I found this book called Man, a Machine by Joseph Needham, which is in a way a kind of, I think, famously like a precursor, like conceptual, like precursor to cybernetic thinking. And so let's say that I'm talking about machines now. So I had first cybernetics, now I have machines. Okay, I want to look for this book, Joseph Needham. Okay, and man, a machine. Let's see if we got that in here. Yeah, man, a machine. It's got a longer title here, In Answer to a Romantical and Unscientific Treatise. I don't have that on mine, so I'm just going to choose this man, a machine right there. Okay, and now let's say that I find something also about control. Okay, so let's just say I'm 33. Man can experience control, and I want to hash it via his organs. Okay. Now, if I go to control here, I now find everywhere I've seen control on the different pages that I've hashtagged control. So it's a very easy way to remind yourself about where you've linked something to control, and you can skip around. I can skip over back to my cybernetics page, you know, or I can skip back to my machines page, you know, and
Now,
yeah.
let's just emphasize again that if you go back to the control index page,
Yeah.
topic index page, let's say you wanted to change this topic name to control parentheses CYB, so you remembered it was in relation to cybernetics.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you can
So
just
right.
do it right up there in that
Right.
page
I can do
title
CYB
area.
or something like that.
Right.
And that will change
Yeah.
that topic on every page where it exists. So
Right.
as you see, we go here, control CYB. We go back to machines, control CYB. Yeah. Very helpful. Okay. Now let's say, all right, I end this. Now, one of the great things that you can do on the Databyss app is you can embed videos. You can embed images as well. And so I found, for example, this you know, YouTube video right here about cybernetics. I want to include it in here. Before I include it, I'm going to finish the Wendy Chun book because it's technically not, it shouldn't be related to that source. And let's see here, it's a little bit low on, you know what, I'm going to press return so I can get this a little higher.
Thanks.
So what you do here, as you see, embed, which is like the, I don't know, is it less than or greater than? Less than.
Alligator mouth. Yeah. No,
Alligator
it's,
mouth,
less
alligator
than,
mouth. Less than.
Yeah, it's less than. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can either click this or you can press them, and then I now paste the YouTube video that I just grabbed. Okay. And I wait a second for it to think. There you go. It's got it. I press return, and we have it embedded right into the Databyss. And this will allow you to play it on full screen, as you see. And yeah, you can type around it, as you see, and you can continue working through your Databyss. So one more
and
really,
actually, just to clarify what that element is, it's also an entry. So like if you go up to it, so it's highlighted and press enter. Just highlight it. Now press enter. Now start typing. You're actually still typing in that entry. So it's sort of like you're captioning or you're adding metadata to that video. And
right. And you can also do like a hashtag control again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And so now if you actually search, if you do a search for crash, let's see, it should find it because it should name that media element based on what it yeah, there it is. So it has a kind of textual name that it pulls from the media source, and now also you see your writing your note on it as well as the hashtag, so it shows up.
Right. And of course, if you went to control, you will find this entry right here. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So one more interesting thing that I think is really helpful for using Databyss is that you can highlight PDFs and you can bring those highlights into your Databyss environment. And you can work with them as if they're notes, not just your highlights, but also if you do like little post-it notes as well, they'll drag those in as well. So let me just show you how that works. There is a connection between Heidegger and cybernetics. So just so everyone knows, I go down here and press a new page to open up a new page. So we go Heidegger and cybernetics. All right. So I found this text called Heidegger and cybernetics. And I just want to show you that I highlighted one line in this whole text. The ultimate goal of this project is to establish. Okay, so you see the line that I highlighted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find that file, Heidegger and cybernetics, and I'm just going to pull it right into my Databyss. Okay, and it says drop your PDF here. I let go. I let it think for a little bit of time. Sometimes it takes between, that's pretty quick. It's just one.
Not bad.
Yeah. And so let me just show you what I did here. It got exactly the highlight that I was talking about. As you see here, it dropped a source, and the source is just the title of the PDF. So if I go to the view edit citation, you'll see that there's really no detail here. That's because it couldn't find it in the catalog. So now it's asking you to fill in everything. I'm not going to do that like in real time here, but I could start filling in like who's the author, Alexander Mithos. So I could let's go to this Mithos Alexander. Okay, and done. Okay, and so I've added that to the information. And just so everyone knows, I mean, this is also helpful to add the author. Because if I go to my @ button over here, you'll see that he's added over here in the bibliography once I type that. And so I can now find exactly that note right here. I have the Joseph Needham, I have Norbert Wiener, okay?
You can also see all of your sources if you go to the bibliography node on the left.
Right, and you can see all your sources as well. And you can do this magical thing where if you have a research project that's now all of a sudden saying you can't use Chicago, you got to use Harvard, you click there and you switch over to Harvard. That to me is the way that I use Databyss. And if I could just show you guys real quickly what my Databyss now looks like, because I've been using it for about 5 or 6 months. That's my, okay. Yeah, so I have, as you guys will see, I'm a professor. This is my seating chart from my ethics class that you see here.
Wow, really? Yeah. Unorthodox usage here. I like it.
Yeah, I didn't have paper, so I just.
You can see it supports tabs, tab stops.
Tab stops, yeah. I have many various pages. I have, as you see, a lot of authors, let's just like click on Heidegger for a second here, multiple texts, of course. So, and if we go to the topics, there are just numerous topics. Right.
This is an example of that Databyss can support thousands of entries, and dozens and dozens, hundreds of pages. I guess maybe how do you then find things that are just related to like your class, your upcoming class versus general notes? How do you go about?
Okay.
So one thing that may be surprising to a new Databyss user is there are no directories or folders.
Okay.
So Jake, like how do you manage to find a page that you've been working on for your class amidst all of your pages very quickly?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. It really has to do with the fact that the search searches through pages, topics, and sources all at once. If I'm working on like my ethics, like I'll start by typing ethics, okay, right here, and it's really pretty simple. I have a page called Ethics 200, and then I have this ethics essay number 2, okay? And I actually think ethics essay number 2 is on a different page. Yeah, it was written in my CRT class 23. And this right here is my ethics class right here. So yeah, I guess the way that I find things has to do with the fact that the search is able to search through all of the various things at the same time. You know, if we're looking, let's see if I have cybernetics actually here. Yeah, so I have cybernetics hashtag prayer and cybernetics.
Yeah.
You know, one of the ideas behind the database itself, in my mind, is to have a global search that searches through all of your various interfaces or environments or hashes or sources or pages all at the same time. So you might not remember exactly how you saved it, but you remember the words you were using. And so it's really easy to cut into it and to be reminded of it. Of course, you have to be somewhat perspicacious when you first, you know, make your notes to attach something reasonable to it.
Tag them well. Yeah.
You have to tag things well. Yeah.
Yeah, you change your organizational system from the directory approach, because in the directory approach, the organizational, the categorization is kind of external to the page, right?
Right.
It's a hierarchical tagging that gives it a location, you know, within some schema. Whereas here you need to put that tagging, that organizational tagging in the document itself, which in the long run, especially for larger data sets, I think really makes it easier to navigate. Can we just show also, this might be good. So we do want to show how you can share a collection, but I think this is a good segue into, well, what if you're sharing a collection of your pages and you want to give someone a kind of like table of contents?
Okay.
I know, I'm not sure you've even done this much, Jake, but it's a newer feature, the ability to link internally to other pages within
oh, right.
Databyss.
Okay, yeah. So
and of course,
let's
you can
go
also
back.
use inline links and topics. So let's say you
go
wanted to
back
give
to what I was making here. So yeah, let me just start at the simplest thing that I could do. Let's just say the first thing I want to do is I really want you to see this video here. Okay. So I can just share a single page. Okay. And I go pages public and I just copy the link right here. Now, just to be clear, can I also copy up here once I've made it public, or
Yes. For shared pages, you can copy the link from.
So I can copy here, or I get the copy to the clipboard, and you know, just
in
Safari. I'll open it in Safari just so people can see. Compromised password, great. Okay, so I'm gonna paste what I just opened up. Okay. Oh, voila. Okay, this is read only, but these videos will play. As you see, but yeah, these are uneditable, and as you will see, they have the sources and they have the topics and they have all of these indexes as well.
Right. So even though you're sharing the page, you're actually sharing the tools, all of these rich tools to navigate the page. You're sharing
exactly,
database, really,
and you should be able to
we called it
search
database, because you're not, it's not documents, it's a portable database format. So when you're sharing a page, you're sharing a part of your database. And in fact, it's a collection of one page. So now we'll show you how you can bundle multiple pages and share them in a similar way.
Okay, right. So let's say that I want to actually send all 3 of these pages to Paul. What I will do is I will click on the nifty Databyss logo, which is this kind of like open, friendly hexagon creature.
the data dancer is, I think.
Right. And as you see, it says my collections. There are no collections currently, but the major thing that changes is down here. It no longer says new page; it says new collection. I will click on new collection. And it says drag pages here. Oh, let's see. What do I want to title this? Cybernetics research. Okay. And now I open my page menu and I literally just drag the pages that I want into this box. And I want all 3 of these. Okay. And then I will make it public. And for this, I cannot show the link. I just have to copy the link. So now the same thing, I'll show you guys in Safari what it looks like. And let's drop it right there. And we will see the whole collection. There you go, all 3 pages. Now the nice thing here is that something like control, which is on multiple pages, shows up in multiple pages. And you can search, you can see all of the text that's been used. And so, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities here. Right now, as we said, it's read only, so you just share it. In the future, we actually are going to make the names of these collections related to the title, Cybernetics Research. And the idea would be like you've created a website where, some people call this like a digital garden, but a kind of hyperlink environment that allows a user to search, find videos, find notes, find sources, find bibliography, trace down notes, etc.
So let's do the power user version of this and show people how you could create a little website with a kind of welcome page. And right now there is a little bit of a trick that you have to do. So okay, so let's say Jake wants to make a little microsite about cybernetics. So maybe cybernetics research is just to share with me, and I don't need an introduction because we've been talking about this. But let's say he wants to make a public Databyss and then tweet it, right? And it's his digital garden for cybernetics research. So he probably wants some kind of like welcome page, a home page for this site. So the way you do that right now is let's make a new collection.
Okay.
Collection, yeah.
Okay.
And let's call it like Dr. Reader's cybernetics portal.
Okay.
Sounds very 90s. Sounds very.
All
90s,
right. Yeah, I like it.
Now,
okay.
we need to make a page that will be the home page first. So let's go do that.
All right.
Let's
So
make
let's
a new page.
do a new page. Okay.
Right, and you can call it portal homepage or.
Okay. Portal homepage. Okay.
Right. Or.
Okay. Right.
Portal table of contents, whatever.
Okay.
And you can type a little welcome message. Welcome to the cybernetics research work in progress collection.
Okay, and then maybe I could grab like the Wikipedia for cybernetics. So someone could jump there real quick. So let's do that.
You can show how to do a link with the 2. No,
oh yeah, so I could do an embed this way.
Right.
And or if I just wanted to do a link, I could do it like this way. Yeah. Press enter. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I go back to my collection.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So you go back to the collection, and now the first page, you have to make sure the first page you drag in is the portal homepage.
Okay, so that, right. Okay, so now I do.
If you have, because there's no way to order the pages yet, and it won't appear at the top, but because you dragged it in first, it will be the homepage. So if you have an existing collection and you want to make a homepage, you do have to clear it out, right? And then from an empty pages.
We will in the future allow you just to click and make it your default page. But okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just play this out. So we put these in. We copy the link, my Safari, and there we go. Yep. That is the opening page.
So that will be the page that comes up first when people follow that link. So now let's make some links underneath the welcome message there. Let's put a table of contents.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, right. Let's get rid of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can even hashtag that so that appears in their topics.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can use hashtags like normal headings too, just for formatting if you want.
Right. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right, right.
And so
now
now
you're
let's make some links to our internal pages.
okay, right. So doing greater than allows you to make a link, and you can make a link with a web page, and then but also you can make a link with the pages that are in your database. So then you can, what's it called, backlink to them, or bi-directional? Yeah. Okay, so let's say, right, Cybernetics is one of the pages, and it comes up right here for you. Okay, all right. And let's do Heidegger and Cybernetics and machines. Okay.
Correct. And maybe underneath each one, you'd give a little bit of a summary of what's on that page, or what they might find.
Right. Okay. So Norbert Wiener. Joseph Needham. Okay, just something like that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you could be a bit more verbose.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Okay, and of course, obviously, you can click there. Now, one interesting thing, if you look over here, this informs you that actually, Paul, can you explain it to me?
So those of you who are familiar with backlinking in systems like Rome Research, Notion also does it now. Basically, as we have source indexes and topic indexes to show, kind of an overview of where all of our topics are referenced throughout our database, we do the same thing with page links, right? So if a topic and a source do not have their own content, right? They don't have their own entries, but a page does. So if you want to make something that's topic like, for example, if you just wanted a page about Norbert Wiener, we could do that now, right? You would make it, and then you could go to that page and see the backlinks, the pages that link to it. So let's demonstrate that.
Okay, but just so everyone knows, like right here, if you click on this, it shows that portal homepage has linked to this Cybernetics page, and then you can go back to the portal homepage. So yeah, all right. So let's do like the more elaborate version. So we want to do a page on Norbert Wiener. I guess the best thing to do would be to shove a Wikipedia, the simplest solution. Okay. I swear that as a professor, I don't just use Wikipedia. Everyone is watching this. Okay. Very interesting, intelligent man. Okay.
Cool sunglasses too.
Yes.
Or glasses,
great,
I guess.
Great glasses. Okay.
Great glasses.
Yes.
Right. So now wherever you use Norbert Wiener in your notes, you could actually link to this page. So we could show that like in the Cybernetics.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see. So I'm interested in Norbert Wiener. We could actually turn that Norbert Wiener up above.
Okay. Right.
Into a link.
Oh, into the Norbert Wiener himself. Right.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Oh, it looks like here you actually have to type it. Yeah.
Right. Or choose it. Yeah. So get rid of that.
Slurp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So
now if you
now
click through. Yeah, it's an Norbert.
Well, obviously we go here,
right.
and
but then
we'll see another page
from Cybernetics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah. Let me just throw out like some more things that you guys can do, just like basic tasks that you can do. So this little button here is the archive. So you can archive material. So let's, for example, we can archive this Cybernetics page. So now it's gone, as you see. We can go here and see it. Okay, now this is read only. We can restore the page, or we could delete the page forever. Another thing we can do here is you can export the page. Right now we export to Markdown, and I'll just export this real quick, and there you have your Markdown for this page. You can throw this into Obsidian, and we formatted it in a way that Obsidian reads it quite robustly. Let's see what else you can do here. I got, just
Yeah.
I guess that's about it. I mean, you can sign out. Just so everyone knows, this green dot refers to the if, I don't think we made this clear,
So
but
overview of the offline first
yeah,
model.
why don't you
Yeah,
explain that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So as you're working in your database, it's actually saving to a local database that lives in your browser. This database is actually permanent until you sign out. You don't need to sign out of Databyss, especially if it's your personal computer. If it's a public
Yeah.
workstation, you may want to sign out. So when you sign out, it clears your local database. But that local database is constantly syncing with a kind of mirror of it in the cloud that we give you for free. So if you try to log out while that little dot is amber, which means it's still working, it will warn you that it hasn't fully synced yet. The benefit, though, of course, of it saving locally first, and that being permanent, especially on your own workstation, is that it works completely offline. So it is a standalone app that runs on your computer when you're running it offline, and when it comes back online, right when you get off the airplane, it will sync everything back to the cloud, so it's available across all your devices and available to people reading your public collections.
Okay.
That's it.
Great. And so and the green light just means that it's all been sent to the cloud.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's all there. It will save, and work quite fine on your computer.
You can show, and this is good for following up on this video. If you want more information, or you want to reach us, can you share your screen again?
Yeah, sure.
The Chrome one. Yeah. And so another menu item in that 3-dot menu is the help function.
Yeah.
Right. And that will bring you to a public Databyss collection, which is our user guide. And this has a little table of contents as well, like we showed you. And it does have our Discord channel link there, which hopefully still works. We have to make sure that's still alive. And how to find us on Twitter, and also how to
looks like it.
With us.
Yeah. Looks like it still works. Yeah.
How to reach us by email as well. So hope to see you on the Discord, and thanks for watching.
I mean, I would just, maybe let's just say, like, just so everyone knows, we worked on this, I would say, for about 2 years, and it was privately funded. The idea behind it is really to create a free application for humanities researchers, but researchers of all kind. But we did definitely gear it towards the needs, I think, of humanities researchers. And currently, we have reached a very stable place, but there's, as I'm sure all of you can imagine, lots of more features that we could add and that we would like to add. We are at a stage right now where we're slowly adding new features, not as aggressively as we originally were, but we definitely are committed to keeping this free and keeping it active and keeping it updated. And so one of the things that we've done recently is we're in the midst of applying for a 501c3 exemption that would allow us to apply for grants, to create publishing projects, and to create educational webinars, and various activities to help grow and continue to produce more helpful tools, kind of like that return to cinder.com that I originally introduced, which is this concordance style index of the work of Jacques Derrida, but actually includes many other authors as well. Paul, you have anything to add? Or
no, I mean, just to emphasize that it's at a stable place. So we have a set of core users, and Jake represents probably the user with the most content on the application, and it's vital to your everyday work. So
I use it all day.
Right. We've also ensured that it's being backed up every 2 hours. So if
Okay.
anything does go, nothing has actually to date gone wrong with this generation, which represents the offline first app. We've never had any data losses,
Yeah.
right, Jake?
No, I've
Since
never experienced that. No.
since we launched
No.
2.0, yeah,
No.
no data
No.
loss,
Yeah.
with hours and hours of daily use.
And 2.0 was
So
like January, February. Oh, it's been a long time.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's very stable. We have hundreds of tests that run on the application on new code.
Yeah.
If we're adding a new feature or fixing something to make sure we don't break something that already works. So I want to emphasize that also we're committed to the longevity of your data. We added the export features for exporting your pages, and we'll continue to beef those out a little bit so that you can export whole packages of your data at a time, your entire collection, for example. But the idea is that your writing is your writing, and you can take it off the system. You can bring the writing into the system through imports. So we were committed to kind of the longevity, not in just the sense of what we're going to keep the servers running for as long as possible, which we are committed to that, but also committed to giving you the tools to not be stuck with Databyss if you choose to use other apps.
Other formats
in the future. Other formats in the future, right? So we'll have more about this in future webinars.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening and for being interested in Databyss. And I think, like Paul said, join our Discord, ask us stuff. I mean, people have even reached out about certain questions of features that might be helpful for them. Since we are a small, there's a small group of us at this point, if you give us some tip about something that you would like, it's possible that we think that, oh, that's the next thing we want to work on. Possible, it's possible. But join our Discord and talk to us. But take care, everyone.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.